Georgetown University students had their morning sleep-ins cut short on Saturday. Residents of a dorm were told to evacuate by police after there were reports of a suspected drug lab. Melissa Harrington has more on the story.
Georgetown University students had a rude awakening at 6 a.m. Saturday morning. Over 400 freshman students were evacuated from the Herbin Hall dorm. Police arrested 3 college freshmen after discovering a dorm room had been turned into a drug lab. Cops and school officials say the students created dimethyltryptamine, also known as DMT. It is a powerful hallucinogenic that can cause visions of alien encounters and trigger horrific near-death sensations. One day later, students discuss how they feel.
I think it was really a shock. I found it really surprising, and it's actually pretty. I think it's pretty sad that something like this could happen, because this is a great university, and I mean, I love my experience here so far.
Some students were not only worried about what was going on in their dorm, but they also worried about their studies, as they had been standing outside for 6 hours to get back into the building.
Obviously, there are certain kids that are upset about losing the 6 or 7 hours of studying or whatever it was, and then there are other kids that are joking about making T-shirts that say "I was evacuated," and kids are trying to joke around, be as optimistic as possible, realize that it was a strange situation and it's not something that happens every day.
Campus police did not comment, but as previous students said, this does not usually occur at Georgetown University. Melissa Harrington, District Wire News.
Drug-sniffing dogs are now being used by worried parents. Parents who think their kids are doing drugs can hire the nonprofit group Dogs for Drugs to sniff through houses to find any drugs within seconds. The service costs $200 per hour.
Testimonies from 2 women who were assaulted by the man on trial for killing Washington intern Chandra Levy is taking place this afternoon. Hallie Schilling is testifying that Ingmar Gwandike followed her while on a jogging trip and jumped her from behind. Gwandike is on trial with attempted sexual assault and murder of Levy back in 2001. There is no physical evidence or eyewitnesses in the Levy case, but prosecutors say that Gwandike confessed to his cellmates while serving 10 years in prison for other attacks he committed.
The body of an American swimmer is being handed over to U.S. authorities today after he died in a marathon on Saturday. The United Arab Emirates, who hosted the event, is sending Fran Crippen's body to the U.S. Swimming Federation. He was swimming the last leg of the race when he fell unconscious. The cause of the death is still under investigation, but some think that high temperatures could have been a factor. Deep-sea divers found his body 2 hours later near the finish line. Crippen was 36 years old.
The New York Times reported yesterday that several countries are donating money to the Afghan government. The money was given to Afghan President Hamid Karzai's chief staff under Karzai's orders. Afghan President Karzai says that Iran and the U.S. only gave money to help financial problems and nothing more.
Even when we were at Camp David with President Bush, this is nothing hidden. We are grateful for the Iranian help in this regard. The United States is doing the same thing. They are providing cash to some of our offices.
Karzai did not give details about how the money was spent, only saying that it was supposed to be used to help the presidential offices.
The U.S. and Canada are working towards a plea deal for the youngest Guantanamo Bay detainee after he pleaded guilty today of charges of terrorism. 24-year-old Canadian Omar Khadr is accused of throwing a grenade that killed a U.S. soldier in Afghanistan in 2002. Khadr has been held at Guantanamo Bay since he was 15. The exact terms of the plea deal have not been released. A military judge involved in the case says that the deal will allow Khadr to transfer to Canada after the first year of his sentence.
The largest 10-mile race in America, the Army 10-miler, ran through the streets of D.C. this past weekend, bringing people from all over the world together to raise money for the U.S. soldiers and their families. Here's more from the start of the race. Active soldiers, wounded warriors, family members, and Army supporters came out to the Pentagon early Sunday morning for the 26th Army 10-miler.
It's an event that Department of the Army puts on every year. It's one of our biggest community outreach programs that we do.
The race began at the Pentagon, where Highway 27 was lined with supporters cheering on the 30,000 runners as they took off into the district.
I'm here to cheer on some of my coworkers who are Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marine running in the race. I'm a runner, and I haven't been able to run for a while because of injuries, so I just like to be out to support.
The event raised funds for Army Morale, Welfare, and Recreation, an organization that works to better the lives of U.S. soldiers and their families.
I've been in the military for 35 years, so just to see a group of people come together for one event, it was pretty awesome.
The runners passed by many of D.C.'s monuments where supporters stood by and cheered them on.
It's a nice day, and for supporting the country, as you know, the Army thing, so. Woo! And I've run on these before, not this one, but it's nice to have some support on the sidelines. Good job, guys. Yeah, Molly.
Deployed soldiers were also able to participate. A shadow run was held for them in Afghanistan last week.
Coming up after the break, first, Rick Sanchez, now Juan Williams of NPR filed for his controversial comments. Find out which news organization is picking up Juan Williams.
And coming up in sports, the Redskins intercept the Bears in Chicago. Highlights after the break. Find out when we return.